Okay, I'm back with another video, and today we're going to talk about giving report. We're going to talk about giving report because honestly, when I was a student and even a new grad, giving report was terrifying. And I don't even know why, but giving report gives anxiety. Giving report gives, I feel stupid. Giving report feels like, okay, I realize that I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Um, Giving report is before you get into the swing of things, giving report is just it's I don't know. It's not really that fun, and it's like you can actually dread the end of the day because you're like, fuck, I got to give report. And when you're a student, you have to give report and you feel like your preceptor's listening, and the person that you're giving report to might ask you questions, rebuttal back like, well, what's the x-ray look like? Or, are they positive on fluids? And it's like, I wasn't even, I don't know. I did not look at that all day long, actually. So, yeah, let's talk about giving report. So, first of all, I'm the type of person where I like to eliminate remembering things. So, I write everything down. I don't care if I have to write a whole half of a page for each patient. I write things down, and sometimes I'll write them in full sentence form, so that you know what I'm saying? So that I know what to say and what's going on. But I definitely write report. I'm not one of those people that just writes a bullet point or one single word and can go from there. Not, at least not yet in my career. I still write down like report. So I would say that anything to help you. If you have to write an exact sentence like the patient blah 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 blah, we took the patient to CT at 11:30, then write it out, to help you remember. Because sometimes just writing CT or sometimes just writing transport, you know what I mean? Sometimes that shit just doesn't click when you're giving report and you already have anxiety over the whole situation. You can practice report the whole 15 minutes before someone comes and you want to say report, and then you sound stupid. You feel like you just sound so stupid, but it came out good in your head before. So it's like, I get it. And you just have to figure out ways to try to eliminate or minimize errors. You know what I'm saying? And so, full sentence form if you want. I would say stick to a regimen. That's probably the biggest thing, is give report the same way each time. Sometimes you have respiratory therapists, maybe they're vets in the game, or maybe they're just one of those not lazy, but just don't care type of therapists. So when you give them report, you just give them here for this, blah, 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 and you're done. Next patient. You know what I'm saying? And then some of them, the more intimidating ones, are the ones that are more interactive with you when you're giving report. They're the ones that are asking you questions back. So it's like, oh my God, what do I do? So the best thing is to stick to a regimen and do the same thing every time, no matter what type of therapist that you're giving report to. Honestly, always think the more the better. The more that you say, obviously, then the better picture that you can paint for the next therapist coming on. And then regardless, I think it'll be appreciated more than, oh, I forgot to tell them that, something serious. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just, regardless, no one will be able to say, Shelby gives trash ass report. You know what I'm saying? You oversay things, that's better than not. So stick to a program. And when I say that, I mean kind of like this is patient, we'll just use my last name, Thomas. Miss Thomas. And then let's say the first thing that you say, Miss Thomas came in for blah, blah, blah. And she has a history of CHF, AFib, whatever, whatever. That's going to be the first two things you say in report, no matter who you're giving report to, right? So this patient, okay, came in for blah, 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 has a history of blah, 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 blah. Okay? Always. This patient, she came in for a CHF exacerbation, history of, blah, 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 cabbage times 3 in 2012, blah, 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 whatever. Okay? What they came in for and their history. Then the next thing, from that point on, it's basically, I would describe your assessment. So, I would describe, if it's just a regular patient on room air on the floors, I'd, be like, her lung sounds are clear. So this is so-and-so, came in for this, history of this. She took her treatments fairly well today, no issues. When I did listen, she sounded pretty coarse. I did hear some secretions in there, but, had her deep cough and she could clear it on her own. No need to NT suction, nothing like that. I would talk about, what type of oxygen that they're on, the patient's room air, setting 98, that's it. I would talk about that. So I would go through my assessment. If you found anything off or anything, heads up to the next person, I talk about that next. And then if there's anything important throughout your day, today we did have to, maybe it's a trach patient and the patient didn't tolerate trach collar. So it's like, he did stay on trach collar for 2 hours and I did have to put him back, blah, 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 back on the ventilator. Anything that happened throughout your day with that patient, I would fill them in next. And then I would end my report with, anything that they need to look out for, any plans for the night, they were saying that you're supposed to go to CT at 11, blah, 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 the plan. Especially if you're on day shift, because day shift, you guys actually more so round with the doctors, and doctors are a lot more active on days. So you can find out more information. You guys just, day shift nurses, day shift respiratory therapists, you guys just naturally find out and know more information. So if you're day shift, then the best thing for you to do is always, end with the plan. Especially night shift too, but end with the plan. And that's really that. So I would say stick to a format and stick with it. No matter who you're giving report to, it doesn't matter. It can be scary, but honestly, it's like with experience. Sometimes I give report to people and I still am like, I don't know what you're going to ask me. I need to read all, whatever. So, but if you give report the same way every time, then you're more than likely to feel more confident because you know exactly what you need to be doing and like what routine that you follow. I would definitely do that. Definitely include, we're respiratory therapists. So in your when you talk about your assessments, then lung sounds, oxygen. Those are really important things to always pretty much mention when you're giving report. Other than that, those are really just the two things that I really do, because when I tell you that I got critiqued when I was a new grad about my report, because it never came out right. But now, like in my annual reviews and stuff at work, and we have peer-to-peer reviews, surprisingly, not surprisingly, because I'm a really good respiratory therapist. I'm just saying, but one of the peer-to-peer reviews was that I give really, really good report in the morning. So, yeah, it was hard for me too. I totally understand. It's just going to come with experience. So yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free, hit me up, and stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video.